Interestingly enough, what I've discovered is that because I teach across a number of different disciplines, different disciplines tend to congregate around different platforms or channels. And so one of the other areas I teach in is landscape architecture. Well, landscape architects don't tweet, so there's no point being on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with landscape architecture. But what they do is they use LinkedIn, and so if you want to be a part of the professional community in landscape architecture, LinkedIn is where you need to be. And you follow, and there are plenty of landscape architect groups on LinkedIn, and there are plenty of people, within LinkedIn who are associated with landscape that you follow. And I found that's quite interesting. So you kind of, it's not, Twitter isn't a kind of panacea. It's not, you should be there because that's where everything's happening. That's not the case. It's actually industry specific or discipline specific, actually. And what's good on Twitter for web design is not good for other subject areas like landscape architecture. And in this case, LinkedIn is the place that you need to be for landscape architecture. So it is kind of interesting, and I think it's important that those of us who are in vocational subject areas get to know what the industry is using as a kind of communication platform or communication channel. Right? We have to, as tutors, we have to agree with students what our main channels for communication are going to be, and that's a mutual agreement. I think you have to be reactive. I think you have to listen to A, what's happening in your industry, and B, what's happening with your students. I think you have to be with both of those things. So if your students are using one channel, then you need to join them with that, and if your industry is using a channel, then you certainly need to be with that. Anybody who's interested in teaching in the modern world will be happy to engage with those channels. I suppose that if you were writing a new course description, there ought to be like we have a component for employability and all the other things. Maybe there ought to be a component for what positive aspect of a student's digital footprint does this make? Or what contribution towards their digital footprint does this make?